Hello and welcome to Up to Speed, our way of keeping our customers up to date with the latest announcements in the industry. And today, Canon have teased their latest mirrorless camera, the EOS R5. Now they haven't shared much, but what they have shared is incredibly exciting. We know it records 8K video, and we know it has built-in image stabilization. And let's be honest, Canon announcing a new mirrorless camera with either of those two features would have been enough to get people's attention, so I'm sure this announcement will get people talking. So let's rewind a little bit back to September 2018 when Canon released the EOS R, their first full-frame mirrorless camera. And it turned out to be quite a controversial camera for us video users for a number of different reasons. Overall though, it was a really nice camera, and we have lots of our customers who are using it very happily for their work. It's a great little B camera to the C200 for example, and there's a lot to love about the EOS R. However, it does have a few drawbacks which are hard to ignore. Firstly, it uses the full width of the sensor when it's filming in 1080p, but if you go into 4K it crops in by about 1.7, 1.8 times. So, when changing between stills and 4K video, or 1080p video and 4K video, you get a huge difference in frame size, which is obviously frustrating. The second drawback was only having one SD card slot, and the third was not having any sensor stabilization, as most other full-frame cameras on the market from Sony and Panasonic, for example, the competing ones do have IBIS. So, this is really why the R5 is going to be so exciting for people. I'm sure this will sit at a higher price point than the EOS R. We don't know the exact pricing, but it's a much more advanced camera on paper. And it does look like it will potentially fix most of those complaints about the EOS R. The addition of image stabilization alone will be a huge deal for a small little camera like this. We also get dual card slots. We don't know what media type though. That will really depend on what codec this 8K recording is using. Will they go with CF Express like the 1DX Mark III and the C500 Mark II? Or will they really compress that 8K down using HEVC recording and be able to do it to SD cards? We'll have to wait and see. But whatever media they choose, we know there will be two slots. We also don't know about crop factors for either 4K or 8K. But if we do some maths, 8K video needs a sensor resolution of 33.2 megapixels. Now we don't know the exact sensor resolution of the R5 yet, it's not in this announcement, but I can't imagine it being significantly higher than 33 megapixels. If it's 36 for example, or even 40 megapixels, that would only be a relatively small crop down to get to native 8K without any downsampling, because of course they could downsample from whatever sensor resolution they have down to 8K. But if they do just go for native 8K, it wouldn't really be that significant a crop unless the R5 has a very high resolution sensor, something like 50 megapixels for example, and I think that's fairly unlikely. And for 4K, if Canon do give us 4K recording from that whole sensor downsampled, I can see that being the most common recording format for this camera. That's going to make a lot of people very happy. From the way Canon have been talking about this R5, I imagine there will still be some big surprises yet to come. This announcement to me seems to be Canon saying, look, we've heard your feedback, here's what we're working on, and we are taking video seriously. Add these improvements to what is already good about the EOS R, and you get a pretty fantastic little mirrorless camera for video work. But we do have to remember that this is just a technology announcement. We've no way of knowing, one, how far away this camera is, or what the final spec will be, or even how much it will cost. Technology announcements like this are quite rare for Canon, so it can be quite hard to judge at what stage this camera exactly is in its development. We do have a product page up though on our website where you can register your interest in the camera, so for more information on the R5 as we get it, head over to proav.co.uk. And let me know what you think Canon might have up their sleeve for this camera in the comment section down below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.